Hello and welcome youth to another tutorial. So today we are going to be talking about sniffing. Yeah, we are going to be talking about sniffing. Cybersecurity is just interesting. The terms which are there, they are just but different. So right now I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, and the reason why I'm doing this is because we know we actually now are in the Wi-Fi that we longed to get into, but now we don't know what to do, or we know what to do, but you want to be curious of what you can do. Here we got sniffing and spoofing tools. That's where you get those men in the middle attack, and we got all these network sniffers. So yeah, it happens. So you just have to look at which one is very interesting to you, and then you just try to use that one. So as for me, we are just going to start with the basics. I really believe that most things are very easy, and that's the reason why maybe some are good in it and some are not that good in it, because the other one believe that everything has to be hard, the other one believe that everything has to be simple. So let's just start with those who love the terminal. We're going to see what we can do on a network. Let me just get off there, open that browser, and then we'll start a little bit. So this is the browser that I will be using. They are connected on the same network, on the same Wi-Fi network right here. This one. Wait, this one. Code Trust Wi-Fi. Okay, so as usual, I also run a sudo. I told you it's very risky to run a sudo, especially when doing a CTF, or maybe in a real scenario, because if somebody gets hold of you, you get hold of you and your root. So let's just get clear. So now there is this tool called TCP dump. TCP dump. Like it states, it sniffs those traffic from the TCP. I guess it's got the man page. TCP dump. Yeah, so it is a dump traffic or network. It dumps the traffic. So it prints out description of contents of packets on a network interface that matches the Boolean expression for blah 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 blah. All this. So this is what I really love about Kali Linux. It tells you everything, whether it's Kali, whether it's Parrot, it tells you everything of how to use it. So you can actually see the examples of how you can use it. Prints all IP packets between that and that. Prints all traffic on the local host, on the gateway, all this. So you can actually, and if you know this, you're going to understand this more, and you want to see that it's quite easy when we are going to use the other two that is going to come on our way. All right, so there's a lot to read and a lot of study, but people like us make it quite easy because we just give you the researches that we already did. So just press Q and it's gonna quit like that. So now we are on the network. The first thing is to identify, like, I'm going to just have the steps and then we go for sniffing, right? Just chill, you're gonna get some. So the first thing is to identify yourself on the network. That's with if config. To those who did that, oh yeah. I think I did some Linux basics on the course that I just produced. You can actually see and relate to this. So these are the interfaces: Docker 0, Ethernet 0, localhost, and WLAN 0. So as for us, we use the Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is wireless local area network. That's why it's WLAN. And in programming and cybersecurity, we start counting numbers from 0. We don't start counting from 1. That's why you're seeing all these zeros and zeros and zeros. So now we are WLAN 0, and this is our IP address. That's us. But we want the IP range, so you can actually say IPA like that. we come here on WLAN 0, and then we can see the IP range, this one. So we're just gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna clear the screen. Now, before we go any further, there's a tool called Net Discover that allows us to discover devices on the network. I did another video about discovering devices on the network, right? Yeah, but we just have to pass by so that maybe somebody skipped it or they didn't actually understand it. So you're gonna say Net Discover like that, minus interface, and the interface like the one I showed. Let me just split the screen. If I do if config like that, these are the interfaces, these ones. So the Docker 0, the Internet 0, the local, and the WLAN. So we just gonna put WLAN 0 because that's one we wanna use. WLAN 0, WLAN 0, I don't know, whatever you call it. Pronunciation differs, some say pronunciation differs. Just put that off in the bin. And then we gotta say the minus R for the range. The range is the one we got when we said IPA. This is the range with the slash 24. You see, yes, slash 24 again, but now here is slash 8. Here is slash 16. To those who did networking, CCNA, maybe subnetting and stuff, you can just go ahead and say that, yeah, maybe you're gonna have some. So this is it, and then you're gonna hit enter. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna start doing some app requests of the packets, start looking for the devices which are connected on the network which you are connected, which is very, very interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's very, very interesting. So you need just to wait a little bit, and you're gonna see those devices coming up on the screen like that. So all these devices, and the one I'm interested in is expressive. Like I said, I think you saw that earlier. Expressive is the company which creates a smart, it creates some Arduino boards, ESP32, ESP8266, DigiSpark and stuff. So it means that I got a smart something in my house, and that's a smart switch, which is right there. And I really know that. So this is it. So you just like, now you saw the device on the network, but you're wondering, what are they doing on the network? Right? Isn't it? That's what you want to know. You want to sniff the traffic. You want to see what are they doing on the network. That's the question. So we just gonna have some. So let's clear the screen like that, and let's just exit. So now we're left with the root, and what I'm gonna do is clear that screen also. I'm not that tidy, but I try my best to have my Linux environment as tidy as possible. So now we're gonna have TCP dump help us. TCP dump minus interface, that's WLAN 0. So what it's going to do is going to dump all the traffic from WLAN 0. You can actually put in a pcap, you can do a lot of stuff. But as for now, we are just going to stream it. Just going to look at it as it flows. Look at that. So now this is what is happening on the network. We can actually see, this, who has that. So it means there is this which is asking some app requests, and this one is replying to, all right, so who has 192.168.214 tail 214, let's create blah blah blah, all this stuff. So you can actually see that we got a lot of different packets are flowing on our network. So it's actually telling that it's listening on WLAN 0 with the link, that snapshot length. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So you can actually see, you can just see the app requests. Those the ones who really are seeing the most. Okay, let me just come here a little bit. Just gonna say F88 drone. Then we come back here. We're gonna wait and see if anything is gonna happen. So we are seeing all these packets running down. So the next two that I'm going to introduce you to, you can actually start analyzing the packets, filtering them and stuff. But you can do that the same. You can do the same on TCP dump. But the thing is, we want something intuitional, something that makes the user wants to use it more. The terminal is good, but it's really good when it's very colorful and stuff. All this. That's where it becomes very interesting. But if it's just like this, you can see it's good, but not that much, not that much. So you can see we got Kali local domain. It's like all these packets running down. Okay, let's just clear. So it just captured those packets. I don't think it saved anything, but I think you can actually dump them if you want. Maybe. So let me see me dot cap. Maybe you can just save them like that. Let's just see a little bit. Are they going to be? Let's just wait a little bit. Or let's just stop it and see if we can. There's something like me.cap. Let's just get it. Me tab. You can actually see the requests which were happening. And yeah, so now this is very interesting. So now we are saying that we are in the network, right? Yeah, we are in the network. So we can actually use another tool. This is the tool for man in the middle attack. You just have to finish all the terminal, then we go on, right? So you can say minus I face woolen 0 like that. So now we got better cap. So better cap is a better version of etacap. Yeah, to those who know cybersecurity, they actually can relate to what I'm talking about. So it's actually telling us this is the range that we found when we did IPA and used net discover, and this is ourself. So now you can do help. We got a lot of different modules right there which you can use. You're gonna understand it when you're gonna do some man in the middle attack. So as for now, we just gonna stick with net.probe, net.record, and net.sniff. So let's get the information about net.probe. What does it do? Net help net.probe like that. So net.probe keep probing for new hosts on the network, sending WDB packets to every possible IP on the summit. So it's going to look for every device that's gonna come on the network. But what's the difference between net.probe and net.record? Because they both are going to look for devices on the network. So let's just say help net.record like that. So wow, now net.record periodically it reads the app cache in order to monitor for new hosts of the network. So this one is sending dummy UDP packets, and this one is reading the app cache, which is different. So we're just gonna say, and what about net.sniff help net.sniff? So now this one sniffs packets from the network. Wow, this is very good and it's very interesting. You can see all this. All right, nice. So what we're gonna do? Is we're gonna start net.probe on. That's how you start it. If you want to use any of these parameters, you say set net. Okay, you can say set net.probe mdns blah blah blah, set net.probe.throttle blah blah blah. You see, so we're just gonna say net.probe on and net.record on. It's now up and running, so which means they run both at the same time, right? So it's now probing and detecting some devices on the network, notifying the mark for that. We are now seeing those devices on the net, and you can do net.show to view the devices on the network like that. We actually found this one first, which is very interesting, right? So now we want to sniff the traffic, so we're gonna say net.sniff on. So now it's going to start sniffing the traffic on the network. So we can't find the IPv4 gateway. When you get these errors, you can actually fix them by just saying exit. And it's going to ask you whether you want to do that, but you're going to say yes. So it's just stopped. So you're going to restart it and do those commands as soon as possible. So like that, and then we're going to say net.recon on, net.sniff on, right? So it's now sniffing the traffic on the network. Maybe we're going to just do some mada.local. I'm going to wait for it. So now you can see that we are getting our traffic being snipped right now. It's telling that this one is requesting for that one, this one is requesting for that one. And we got this, we got a desktop.local, which is 192.136, which possibly means we got a server. Yeah, we really have it. So I was making my own CV, my CV type of thing, my CV website, it's just like maybe a little bit. Let's just wait. Let's come here and take that so that you can actually see it. We're gonna come here and then we're gonna paste it like that. Then we're gonna go there. So now you can see it's loading that CV website of mine on the home page, and there you go. So now we can actually see we actually are seeing the traffic on this device, what is going on, and that's very interesting. We actually located a server on the network just by sniffing the traffic. Wow. So this is what it looked like. About here you can download my achieved certificates, review them, and then you're gonna give me a call. You can go to the contacts. You can actually contact me. See those certificates of mine. You can see my address. I live on plot 44 in Azura, and that's my phone number. My contacts, my events, the events that I held or that I attended. Yeah, those for the first and the second. Some frequently asked questions. I know a lot of people wanna check this out. And we got a photo gallery of me right there. Yes, that's me. That's me. Oh, this is not me though. This is Metasploit. And we got a video gallery. Well, for the video gallery, this is what most people want to see. Look at that. Look at that. But yeah, some video I just put them. Most of them are now here on YouTube, and you can actually see them. Right. And we got a 2-minute blog whereby I'll be just writing some stuff, and All right. So that's it. So we actually were saving the traffic on it. Whatever site we're gonna visit, we're gonna see it. So if we say YouTube dot net, all right, guys, should start giving us some queries right there. But now you can see there are now a lot of errors and stuff. Okay, no problem. That's cool. So now let's just gonna say exit this thing. At least you saw how it works. But experiment with that. So now we are done with the terminal. But some concern they wanna use dsniff. There are a lot of tools that you can use. Dsniff like that. You can start choosing. It's very. There are a lot of tools that you can use. Like as I learned 0, it's now listening to the traffic that's going on here. This is something else. There are not a lot of traffic. It's just me and my computer. I can use T-Shark. Oh my goodness, my God! You can actually use a lot of tools, man. This thing has got a lot of tools that you can use for network sniffing. You can see all those. Oh man, look at, dang, this is good. This is very good. message on that. Announce message. So now you can actually see that. Oh my god, look, actually telling us it's the server. And all right, okay. So this tool that I just opened, which is called T-Shack, it is a command line version of a tool called Wireshark, which is very interesting because in Wireshark it's a graphical user interface, and most of us wants to use graphical user interface because it makes life easy. I know a lot of you know that. So what I'm going to do is just gonna stop this, and then now let's go to the graphical user interface. So we're gonna open right here, and then we're gonna come to sniffing and smoothing, then we're gonna take Wireshark. Well, we got other tools like responder right here, which responds to all this, what they say, to NBTS, MDNS, and stuff. Okay, let's just do Wireshark. Okay, let's just do Wireshark. Let's wait for it to load and open. So now it's all set, up and running. So on Wireshark, you can start seeing the networks which are active by this graphy thing is loading. So we are interested in wheel and zero. You can right click, say start capture, or you can just double click. So now there you go. That's Wireshark, a graphical user interface of T-Shark. You can get all the information here of the packet that you're capturing, and you can actually get more information here about the captured packets. See that? So this is very interesting. Let's just go back and do that matter.local thing. You can actually see that the packets are increasing. And you can actually see the query for matter.local, which is right there. Mhm. So one thing I love about Wireshark is you can actually just click on a packet, and then you can use it as a filter. So let's say you want this, right click it, and then we can say apply as a filter, the one selected. So now you can actually see that you got a filter right there. And yeah, we only got those packets right now. Isn't that interesting? Or maybe you can just come here and apply as filter. That's selected. If you see this green thing, it means that the feature is gonna work. But if you don't, it's gonna see that it's gonna be hard. So now you can see that it's filtered by the destination. Well, let's take this one for instance. Apply the filter, selected. That's it. You can actually see those packets relating to that. That's one thing Wireshark is good at. You can actually filter packets, get some information and a very good view of what. So you can colorize it, you can convert some filters, you can put some comments, you can mark, you can select, you can, oh man, you can decode it. Let's say, yeah, a lot. So this is sniffing. This is more of what we call active sniffing. You're actually participating in it out entry. Oh, but still we are not participating as such. It's more like passive because we are just looking at the packets and trying to analyze and understand the traffic, what's going on, where is it going to, where is it coming from, and stuff. So that was it for sniffing. Or maybe let's just quit. Somebody asked me a question. All right. How you wanna hack Wi-Fi, right? Like we did, but we wanna see the traffic. Okay, I just have to do that favor for them. Let me disconnect that one. Okay, so what you do, you just put your card in monitor mode. So I'm gonna say sudo su. Then I'm gonna say air morning start boolean 0 with that. So now it just started. So let's just man, are you ready to see the package the way they be looking like? Okay, let's just say T Shark right here. Whereas I boolean 0, that's the card we're given is now in monitor mode, right? So now it's gonna capture it's gonna start capturing packets. You're not gonna like this. Believe me. Look, so it's just gonna tell us what's going on the network. Okay, that's we got a network code with that SID, the beacon frame, acknowledgement flag, there's none and stuff. All right. The thing is right here. I don't have another Wi-Fi around, but the packet. Look, they just look. SSID out broadcast server. Okay, now this is the graphical. This is the command line interface, right? Let's just stop it and let's go to Wireshark. Now in Wireshark, there's a whole lot of chaos right there. Believe me, please. But for the sake of that person who asked me that question the last time, it's good that I should actually look for William Zero and then double click it. Now look at all that. Look at all this. So the data, it's gonna tell you the standard of the Wi-Fi that's around, or the last flag, the kiosk control. I myself, the first time I heard about packet sniffing and Wi-Fi hacking, I was like, oh, you can actually get the password. You can actually get the password by using Wi-Fi, but no, nonetheless, man, it didn't work. All right, so yeah, this is it. So you can actually right click and apply as filter if you want. You can actually see the source is the same and this idea whatsoever. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Very nice. Yeah, I don't know if you can decode these packets. Right, you can decode them as all this. Oh, Cindy, Cindy. Ooh, oh, GSM. YP. Oh no, I don't want to. But at least you can actually see the one. Look at this, the Wi-Fi. This is my Wi-Fi, right? Mm, it's very, very interesting. Mm, 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 mm. All right. So you know what? I'm now doing an extra mile, and that's not good to stress you out. So just stop without saving. And that was it for the packet sniffing. I hope you got some insights and are going to use these tools. Some of them, there are a lot of tools right there. And it's gonna be interesting. Happy hacking and bye bye.